Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astrologist. Welcome to Star Codes. Today we're talking about another pivotal event in the stars, and that is Pluto stationing direct at 20 degrees Capricorn. Now, why is this so important this year in particular? Well, Saturn just stationed direct on September 18th. And if you remember, Saturn and Pluto are coming together in that conjunction for the first time in Capricorn in 500 years. Back in April 2019, they both stationed retrograde within 2 weeks of each other. Now, September 18th, October 3rd, which is when Pluto stations direct, they're moving forward again. So that pivotal shift between these two planets is happening concurrently in the very buildup of when they join forces in Capricorn, which happens in January 12th and 13th, but we feel it now. These planets are so slow moving. This is happening. The structures are crumbling. There is such a buildup of energy to release the old. We're bringing together the sacred masculine and divine feminine now. And that means the patriarchal systems that have been governing the top-down leadership, the very masculine, my way or the highway kind of leadership is going down. And we are building something in its place that is much more balanced. So this time is filled with turmoil. It is filled with change and transformation, and that's where Pluto comes in. So now that Pluto will be stationing forward, and you'll feel this now. I mean, it's slowing down now. It is moving to a place where it will be still for quite a while. It's very slow moving, so this takes a while. So by the end of October, you'll really feel the forward momentum because the pivot takes a while to move this planet and have it move forward again. That's because, Pluto just moves super, super slowly. So as that forward momentum speeds up, Pluto and Saturn will move closer and closer together as we get to the end of the year. And so you're really going to feel this end of October all the way through January when the big event happens and beyond, of course. But that's the really big rising of the energy momentum that we're feeling. So that intensity, that buildup of energy is huge. And we're going to look at also the number 20, because the pivot point for Pluto happens at 20 degrees in Capricorn. And 20 is so important a number. Why? Because we are about to enter the 2020s, and the year 2020 is made up of obviously two 20s, and 2020 vision is what we will have next year. So this 20 degrees pivot point is incredible. It is forecasting the clarity that we will have and are already having about the truth. Now, when you look at the 21st century and the number 20, and also the number 19. Those three numbers are part of the truth triad in the ancient Egyptian numerology. So we have to always remember truth and what it means gives you clarity. September in 2019 is a 21 universal month. I covered that in a previous Star Code podcast. 21 is also about the truth shall set you free. So really, really focus on how you are feeling and what is showing up for you. Now, Pluto will be square to Venus during this pivot point, and Venus is the divine feminine. So how cool is that? I mean, Venus contributes that incredible, loving, abundant, pleasurable, peaceful energy that we obviously are seeking to bring into balance with that virile, masculine, very fiery energy. We want to blend the two. And that is actually part of the shift that's going on during the moment that Pluto is changing direction, which is awesome. We're going to end with some powerful tips so you can see how you can leverage this Pluto direct forward momentum in your professional and personal life. So that's what we're covering today. So Pluto is the ruler of the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio governs the 8th house in astrology. And the 8th house is all about what's hidden, secrets. It is about money owed to you. It is about your sexuality. It is about life death, rebirth, all the subjects that we do not bring into casual conversation. So it is the deep down unconscious desires that we have, right? A lot of truths were uncovered in the past 5 months after Pluto stationed retrograde. And now your deep desires and private goals are resurfacing. So the intensification from that forward momentum really instills a lot of strength. Scorpio and Pluto, the ruler Scorpio, are incredibly strong. They are about taking leadership based on intuitive insights. So you really are getting empowered from within by accepting what the truth is, what is coming up for you, and dealing with it with great confidence because you're not afraid of it. Now, it's possible in the last 4 or 5 months since that pivot point in April that somebody or something created a catalyst in your life, right? And so you may not know why it happened, but it set you free in some way. And in any case, even if that did not happen to you, there was a lot of reassessment in your life about something, and especially regarding relationships, any relationships. So if you haven't taken action yet about what you've uncovered, this is the time to do it. So be totally clear and in integrity about what you discovered in yourself and with others, because you're moving from seeing your shadow to basking in the light of truth. Okay, so Pluto really represents coming from the darkness and moving through that life, death, rebirth, transformational experience. It's the most profound of all planets. So that transformation, that healing, that purging, that rebirthing are all part of a beautiful, powerful metamorphosis that is happening not only within you, but in the world globally. This metamorphosis is happening. The caterpillar is transforming into the beautiful butterfly. And it calls for a deep trust in oneself. And it calls for a trust in the universal laws, the divine rhythms that grace our life. So this is a big moment to just tune in to your guides, tune in to God, the divine, the universe, the cosmic energies, whatever you want to call that special energy, spirit, because you're being infused with the divine understanding and the divine wisdom on how to live and how to move forward in every moment of your life. You want to understand what gifts and special talents and the destiny you have and the life purpose you have that you were born with. And you can discover that in a free masterclass I created for you where we look at your birth code, both in the numerology and the astrology. Just go to starcodeclass.com. This is a moment where you want to know the truth about who you are at soul level. So it's a fantastic time to just go deeper. Now, Scorpio, the sign that Pluto rules, is a water sign. Water is very sensitive, it's feminine, it feels everything, it operates on instinct. And Scorpio basically eliminates everything that has gotten old, that is no longer important to you. So Scorpio really intensifies energy as well. Scorpio is the stinger, so it can transform things, it can uncover the truth, and it deeply observes everyone and everything. Scorpio uncovers secrets, and Scorpio wants to deal with anything to do with a power struggle. It can be an inner power struggle. It can be a control issue with somebody else. So all of these things are part of the Pluto experience. And so instead you want to not act from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, but from a place of compassion and service. That restoration of heart-centered response is what's going on right now in general. And that requires a lot of change. And the other thing that Pluto and Scorpio represent is change because of the transformative part of how we are changing from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So forgiving is very important. Forgive and forget, letting go. Remember, this is life, death, rebirth. Death is a letting go of the ultimate kind, and we need to allow our past to be the past and not take it into the present, right? It just mucks up everything when we do that. And self-mastery is about the ability to forgive and let go and make empowering, positive choices that are focused on solutions and not on the problems of the past. This is so important right now, the self-discipline that Saturn brings into the picture. Remember, Saturn and Pluto are joining together. The commitment, the integrity, the timing, the trust, these are all about coming to a place where you really are growing up. You're growing into this incredible, beautiful adult, this mature, wise person who also can make intimate connections. I mean, Scorpio rules the 8th house, and the 8th house is very connected to intimate relationships as well. It is about sexuality, sensuality, making love, emotionally vulnerability, deep, 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 profound connections through loving language, valuing people who are important to you and really valuing them. The 2nd and 8th house are opposite each other in astrology, and they are about the value you bring and the value that other people bring into your life. So this is a time too to attract a joyful soulmate partnership and experiencing that. Scorpio also governs financial partnerships, right? So all of these things are part of the Scorpio experience. And so the positive expression of Scorpio is constant positive transformation, consistent healing, consistent clearing, releasing, elevating you to that place of self-mastery. And another important development at the moment that Pluto changes direction, as I mentioned, is the square with Venus, the divine feminine planet, the planet of abundance and luxury and pleasure and love. And also Pluto is sextile to Neptune in Pisces at this time. So Neptune is also a very feminine, intuitive planet. Now with Venus, this will really impact your personal relationships, your intimate relationships in a profound way. So you're going much deeper on how you manage control issues, especially if there is tension in any relationship that you have. Now, this could be business, personal, professional, anything. So if you don't feel you are of value, it's more likely you will attract people who don't value you, right? That makes a lot of sense. So observe whether you are coming from a place of fear, feeling unloved, because then if that is the kind of relationship you're in with whoever this is with, you will have manipulation, control issues, jealousy, possessiveness, all of the shadow side of Pluto. And healthy relationships, the attraction between you is incredibly powerful and it feels instant. It feels very magnetic. This is all Scorpio Pluto stuff, but it allows you both to just surpass any need to control the other person. And you are incredibly interdependent. And interdependency is what we're all going through now. We've understood what codependency means. We are now moving into the 2000s, the 2020s, interdependency, two people separate. The number two, it's so important. The divine feminine, the divine masculine are part of that whole shift, bringing them into balance. So how do you do that? Well, you dive into your creativity, your intuition, your ability to seek deeper truths for yourself and not be reliable on the outside or a partner or person to uncover those truths, uncover those secrets. I mean, you have incredible intuitive abilities. We all have them, right? And so this imagination and intuition is really being activated by Pluto, a very intuitive planet. Being the ruler of Scorpio, a very intuitive sign. So now the question becomes, how can you most efficiently direct this powerful Pluto direct in Capricorn energy in your life? And so that's where we turn to the degree number 20, because this shift happens at 20 degree Capricorn. 20 degrees sets in play, in motion, the number 20, that is going to govern the next 10 years, the 2020s, and the actual year 2020. So what is that? Peace, intimate connection, trust, harmony. That's all about the number 2. The number 2 also enhances second sight. It is a very, very intuitive number because it is the connection, you and the divine, you and your guides, right? It is up and down. It is heaven and earth. It is bringing together the duality that we live in, right? So you have this powerful intuition, and that's the hidden side. That's the dark side, right? Meaning not the dark side in terms of negative. I mean that there's light and dark, there's moon and sun, there's night and day. And so this hidden side is the one that's not revealed, and that's your second sight. That's the number 2. There's a reason it's called second sight. And so by the time we move into the 2020s, your second sight, your ability to see beyond time and space will be more and more enhanced, and you will be not so dependent on the actual past ways to fuel your decision-making process. 20 and Pluto, like I said, both very, very psychic. So listen to your intuition for answers. They will appear as nudges, as hints, as pleasant surprises. Then you need to focus on, well, what do I want to enhance? With whom do I want to share my time and energy? How do I see my visions being implemented? You also gain more patience because you see that it is the cooperation with the divine timing. Now, 20 has the number 0, and 0 gives divine protection. So you are basically, since 20 is very much about mediation and diplomacy and bringing peace, you are becoming a divine mediator. A divine peacemaker. So here are some tips and takeaways on how to strengthen you to make this Pluto direct moment the most wonderful in your life. So the first thing is focus on your inner world, the unseen world that Pluto rules. Nothing else matters at all except that inner world. How you listen, how you focus on the light within you, the truth that comes through your ability, your instinct. Pluto has purged and cleared the way for you to see in the last few months. So you want to adjust your vision. You need to focus on that clear 2020 clarity. It is really important. So focus on your highest priorities. Say no to everything else. Focus on your highest priorities. Say no to everything else. Remember that life is a paradox. Sometimes what makes us super uncomfortable is exactly what is going to make us stronger. So when we are in a challenging situation, we need to always see the opportunity to gain strength by working through that difficulty. Taking the easy way out is not an option. Saturn will guarantee that. Saturn and Pluto coming together, right? Saturn said, no, you can't take the easy way out because it's going to be disappointing. So you need to do what you're being called to do. And that is the secret of that Pluto empowerment, that mastery, that inner peace. And so what do you need to do to be in that place of inner peace and mastery? Well, you need to be open. Water energy, this is the Pluto Scorpio water energy. You need to be open. You need to realize that life is in constant motion, transformation, change. A new discovery can be made every time you take a breath. Literally, you can grow with each breath, and that is really the point. You don't want to stay stagnant. It takes courage and strength to open up your heart, to learn, constantly learn from people around you, and to listen, because that quality, that acute listening will always bring new discoveries, which will require that you shift. So listening closely builds character, it builds confidence, it helps you elevate your vibration, it brings you into leadership, which is ultimately what Pluto, the power planet, represents. But we need to be humble enough to accept that we are a work in progress, constant work in progress. And that's lovely. We never are perfect and that's it, done, been there, done that. That is not the case. So change and transformation are part of the deal. And yes, it can be scary to leave your comfort zone and set sail into uncharted waters, but that is the intimacy, the soft side, the trust that you are now really noticeably shifting into. Pluto's leadership is based on the purging, the listening, and the ability to then lead, build on this incredible confidence that you have because you've joined forces with the divine. So be open to shift, be open to adjust, be open to redirect your energy in a fresh new way consistently every day. Never repeat, never go on autopilot, right? Turn on the ultimate navigation tool that you have, which is your intuition. Be truly a river that keeps seeing new vistas, the water energy that just flows. You will never fail if you stay on this path because you will embody transcendent transformation. Transcendence is embodied in your ability to transform. So be the caterpillar that changes into the butterfly. Envision that. This is the true Pluto rising from the ashes energy into that phoenix energy, right? This is you. This is an amazing moment as we move forward into the big event in January, the stellium between Pluto and Saturn and Capricorn, joined by the Sun and Mercury this time, so even stronger than 500 years ago. This is the moment we're being set free. So enjoy that and remember to discover your own star code at starcodeclass.com to help you navigate these times of change so that you have the security and peace and grounding as well. I will see you in next week's episode. I really enjoyed sharing this one with you. Have a beautiful week, a beautiful month, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.